Welcome to Lunch Hour Legal Marketing. This is Gyi and Conrad reporting live from all over the U.S. over the past couple of weeks. Let's hit the news.
So here's a quick clip from Carolyn Elephant on OpenAI no longer giving legal advice, a change in their usage policy. Here's a quick clip, and we'll also include a link to the entire conversation so you can check it out on LinkedIn.
At the end of October 2025, OpenAI updated its usage policies to expressly prohibit the automation of high-stakes decisions in sensitive areas like legal without human review. The revision applies whether the automation is being run by a non-attorney or an attorney. So let's talk about what this means for attorneys. So if you're a criminal defense attorney and you create some kind of ChatGPT powered automation that helps criminal defendants decide whether to plead guilty in a felony case or not, and you put it out there and allow people to rely on the output without reviewing it yourself, that would probably run afoul of these usage policies. It most definitely would. And others have suggested that maybe this is OpenAI's way of opening the door to some kind of pay for play. Attorneys buy ads on Google. Maybe they'll start buying ads or recommendations on OpenAI. I also don't know how OpenAI would actually enforce the terms of this usage policy. At the end of the day, the penalty would be losing access to OpenAI. And since there are so many alternatives, I don't even know if that would be such a terrible penalty. But it's a really interesting change in this fast playing field, and I just wanted to put it out there and see if anybody had any thoughts.
All right, and next up in quasi news, we have, I don't know that it's called a retraction. Gyi, you were pretty adamant that this is a retraction.
It seems like a retraction to me, Conrad. I'll let the listeners decide.
Let the listeners decide. But I wanted to go and come full circle. We've recently done a bunch of episodes about Scorpion, and my scorn and Gyi's scorn for Scorpion is kind of worn fairly publicly. One of the questions that we had, and I implied, if not explicitly stated, I can't imagine that I would explicitly state something that I wasn't certain about, especially when it was related to besmirching a competitor.
You would not.
But we at least talked about whether or not Scorpion deliberately conflates branded queries with non-branded queries in order to make the economics of campaigns look better. And so, being good journalists that we are, we actually went and talked to a couple of Scorpion clients, and it turns out that they actually do separate in the reporting branded versus non-branded campaigns. Okay, and so I'm happy to hear that, and we're going to parlay this into a segment around how they could actually be doing that, but still also pulling the wool over your eyes. I'm not suggesting that they are. I'm just saying that you could do this. We're going to go through the mechanisms of how you could do that from a pay-per-click perspective. And then Gyi is going to wax poetic further about other ways that agencies pull the wool over your eyes.
Money makes a world go round. Money makes a world go round. Yeah, money make a world go round.